Hello guys, Reptilian here. I am a Diamond tier Renekton player. This game I will be showing you how to abuse your opponent and destroy laning phase as Renekton. Our opponent is going to be a Diamond 3 Nasus. What we want to do right now as the laning phase begins is catch his wave and drag it towards the brush so he cannot CS us easily. Set up a situation where we could zone him and the wave will naturally push towards us. So this way we could keep the wave in the middle of the lane for as long as possible. Technically a freeze would not be possible here, or rather a slow push that would lead into a freeze, because we're going to be looking to trade and punish him, which means we're going to be getting minion aggro. Now here the Nasus goes for a very greedy last hit and we start auto attack him even before he hits the minion, so we get a very nice extended Conqueror trade there. Definitely very good level 1 trade. We do not want to rush the laning phase. There is no point like trying to go over eager, trading on his minions. As long as we can maintain this dominant position where we can zone him from CS and dictate the pace of the lane, we're pretty happy. A very common mistake a lot of players make when somebody like me this game is trying to freeze on them and zone them from minions. They use their ranged AoE abilities to CS, and sometimes like this Nasus they end up pushing the wave even more towards me, which puts them in an even more difficult situation because the wave will take even longer to come to their tower now. Basically using his own cooldown, running pretty low on mana as well. Now in this situation we are worried the Zac might be looking for a gank, so we ward just in case. Continuing to zone the Nasus as best as we can. Not even hitting him most of the time, just staying there, applying pressure, trying to mind gain him. We go for a very nice extended trade here. Unfortunately we take a tower shot, but we still get out on top. Nasus has like 25% of his mana left, so he cannot really do much. He cannot really use Wither on us because he does not have any mana left. As well as that, he needs to conserve his mana to be able to use his Qs. He uses Wither and as you can see his mana is almost gone. Unfortunately we have to burn our flash there. If the Zac hit that Q, he would pull us back and we would probably die. Creates a minus situation where he would pull us back, we may die, and if we do not die and do not flash preemptively, we're gonna flash, survive with like 1 HP or something like this, which is definitely bad. So it's sometimes better to rather flash earlier than flash later and barely make it out alive and have to recall. Here we go for the demolish damage. It's very important when you're trying to destroy someone like Nasus who wants to extend his laning phase as much as he can and stack from minions to just destroy the tower, so he cannot be safe and he cannot farm safely. Come here to contest the tri-brush because we have lane priority and the Nasus cannot do anything, and the Zac has to back off because we can 1v1 him easily. There we attempt to slow trade. Didn't want to do a long trade there because as you can see Nasus has the minion advantage and we will take a lot of damage. The Nasus looks to recall here because he does not have any mana and we are approaching level 6. If we hit level 6 and Nasus has no mana left, he will not be able to use his ultimate ability and we will just win every time. Also he was pretty low on HP, so we could technically dive him with our ignite. In this situation I made a little bit of a mistake. I was thinking of backing and letting this wave with the canyon slow push to me, but I looked at my gold and I realized I did not have enough to buy my Tiamat, so I decided to stay a little bit late. Preferably I would have realized that sooner and just stayed to push the wave. So we push the wave, you know, a little bit of a delay. We don't really get the perfect back. but still a very good first back. We get Tiamat on the first back, we have level 6, we still have our ignite. When we come back to lane, now that we have half an item, we're definitely going to be able to pressure the Nasus a lot. Also, something cool to do if you're interested in min-maxing is to use your E on cooldown to go back to lane faster so you can increase your pressure output. Maybe it only ends up using the Nasus stacks by like one last hit or something like this, but you know, if you do this consistently every game, it's gonna equate to a lot more than just one last hit. Here the wave is pushing to us, so we do not want to go for an extended trade in Nasus' huge wave. What we want to do is AoE the wave down, so we do not get jumped by it, as we did right here. We do an enraged Q and we kill his whole wave, and now he thought he had the advantage there, but just turn it on him and he has to burn his ultimate and his flash to stay alive. And now he's basically in our dive range. He does not respect the Renekton damage though, and he stays on the tower basically in our melee range, telling us to come and kill him. Just pop him there and go for the demolish proc, hit the tower a few times. Pressuring the tower definitely, as I said, very important. You want to take the tower out as soon as possible so the Nasus cannot farm safely under the tier 3 tower. If there is no tower, he can basically only farm under the tier 2 tower, and if he goes beyond that, you know, maybe your jungler comes and sweeps him by, maybe you come, and you just pressure him a lot more if there is not a tower there. We go back, we buy our Phage. Phage is an item that gives us a lot of chase power because we get movement speed every time we hit, and as well as that, as I point out in this game, that the Nasus and the Zac are both going to be building a lot of armor, so the Phage builds into a Black Cleaver and we need that to shred their armor. Now, as we can see, the Nasus is slow pushing towards us. What we want to do here in this situation is just push the wave towards his tower now that we have our Tiamat and our Phage. Create as much of a CS lead as possible. Nasus really cannot do much here. He does not have enough damage to stop us, and we have pretty decent sustain as well with our Q. We just push the wave, chunk him as much as we can, and look for a dive whenever our cooldowns are up or his cooldowns are down. For example, in this situation he uses his R, which means next time we get near his tower he will not have that. Also, the last time we killed him, he used his flash will not be up, so we can go and dive him again. Now that he doesn't have neither R nor flash, he's basically a free kill for us. We go down to the river and we get the plant because we lost a lot of HP under that tower. We're gonna go back to lane and long lane him because he's playing too far forward. Now what you're going to see is me basically 100%ing this Nasus. Just orb walking him, sticking him with RE because we have the advantage in stats, we have the advantage in HP, in damage and in cooldowns. There's nothing he can do there. His flash is down, his ultimate is down, he's just going to die. We take the turret plating and we look back. Now what we're going to purchase is something a lot of people might not expect. I believe most people will think we're going to buy the Kindle Gem and the boots of swiftness, but in this case actually we're going to buy the Merc Treads. The Merc Treads give us tenacity and a lot of movement speed. The more movement speed we have, the easier of a time we're going to have chasing the Nasus down, as well as that his wither ability is a slow. The Merc Treads give us tenacity, which reduces slow as well. Also the enemy team has a Zac who has a lot of CC and can basically CC chain you for like 4 seconds straight. Definitely a very annoying champion to play against. We look to zone the Nasus away from the wave here, limiting the amount of stacks, gold and experience he gets from it. We cannot keep the wave in this position though because we have Tiamat and we're gonna have to push it. it will naturally push because the Tiamat just does too much splash damage when you hit. We do a nice trade there, do a very quick W and we cancel it with RE, dealing the damage and leaving before the tower can respond. Unfortunately the second time doesn't work out so well. Then we do 2 more trades where the tower cannot land as well. Dancing around the tower shot's definitely a skill you need to learn if you want to be able to bully champions like Nasus with melees. Otherwise, I might recommend playing a ranged champion, it's gonna be way easier. But a ranged champion cannot get away with things a melee champion can get away with. You see the Zac is mid lane, which means we go a little bit more aggressive. Zac is probably heading top side, so what we do after shoving this wave is place a pink in the tri-brush where usually a Zac would jump from. And because we have nothing else to do, we hit the Scribe's Bloom to get some information. We see that the Zac has killed his Raptor camp. And we place a deep ward to spot out the Zac, potentially if he wants to come. Now, the reason the ward did not spot the Zac there is because the Zac was doing Krugs. And he was already at the upper side of his topside jungle. What's gonna happen here is the Zac is going to engage after doing his Krugs. We're gonna have to flash here, the enemy continues to chase reload, get more rage, and we focus the Zac because he has very low HP after clearing all of his topside. Now we go for the AoE heal here, we kill the Zac, we get the Triumph, and the Nasus ulti runs out, so he dies as well, and this is basically how we win the game. We destroyed laning phase, solo killed Nasus 2 times, both times under tower. Here the enemy jungler comes for a gank and we 2v1 kill them. It was kinda close, but not really that close. I've definitely pulled closer out plays, and here we take the tower, marking the end of the laning phase. The Nasus will not be able to safely stack now. We can easily punish him if he decides to go for greedy freezes around his tower or anything like this. Now what I'm going to be talking about from this point on in the video is that I'm probably going to be starting an unranked to diamond series on my EU West account that's going to be level 30 soon. If you might be interested in this, let me know in the comment section. And like and subscribe if you like the video, or if you want to see more guide-like style videos like this one. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know when I stream, and good luck on the Rift. Hopefully with the knowledge you gain from this video, you're able to dominate your opponent and gain some LP. That's it from me for today. Going to see you in the next video.